In less than a month, the online insurance marketplace will launch, also known as the Healthcare Exchange, now known as MnSure. Here to discuss the progress on MnSure, we have the Commissioner of Human Services, Lucinda Jesson. Thanks for joining us again, Commissioner.
I'm happy to be here.
Commissioner, let's begin. Can you kind of update us on the progress of MnSure?
Yes, just this morning, the customer service lines are open. So we have people taking calls from people around Minnesota who are interested in what MnSure might mean for them. That is a big step. You know, in the federal, for those states who are opting just to have the federal government run it, that customer service line will be run out of Washington and won't even open for another month. I think a good sign of the way we're doing things here in Minnesota. And this Friday, another big milestone is that there'll be the release of the rates and what plans are available in different parts of Minnesota. We're working closely, I think, with the health plans to be able to make that information available to people this Friday. So we'll have some time to look at that before MnSure throws open its doors virtually on October 1st.
Is there a lot of pressure? You know, the eyes of the nation are really watching to see how Minnesota rolls this out. Does the commission, the committee that's helping put all of this together, do you feel that pressure?
Well, I think we all feel the pressure. Minnesota is one of 16 states that's doing its own exchange, and I think in Minnesota we're the state that is really hitting the big three things, the big three opportunities that the Affordable Care Act gives to states: the Medicaid expansion, doing our own insurance exchange, MnSure, and also getting basic health plan funding so that we can continue and improve our state-run Minnesota Care program. So I think if you look at all three of those things, no other state's doing all three. So it's a lot of pressure, but a lot of opportunity to have better health care here in Minnesota.
Commissioner, I was recently working at the Senate booth at the State Fair, and I fielded several questions on this issue, and it's fair to say that with a lot of the general population, based on the questions I was fielding, there still isn't a lot of knowledge. There's a lot of fear. There's just a lot of concern about what this is all about. Here's your chance, you know, to tell people what they can expect and maybe to calm their fears a bit.
Well, for most people, their health insurance is going to go on pretty much like it has before, except with the Affordable Care Act, they'll have a slightly better benefit set. So substance abuse treatment, for example, often not covered. It'll be covered now. So a slightly better benefit package. But for people who get their insurance through their employer, for the most part, it's going to be the same. People on Medicare, things are going to be the same. What MnSure and the Medicaid expansion are really going to help are people who are either buying insurance now in the individual market, they're doing it on their own, and especially if they have a pre-existing condition, if they have a history of high blood pressure or diabetes, and they find that insurance unaffordable, they are going to be able to, I think, have a better deal through MnSure. People who don't have any insurance, who often may already be eligible for one of our public programs, or be able to afford insurance with the help of these subsidies through MnSure. So those are another group of people that are going to be helped by MnSure. But as I said, I think most people need to understand, for most of us, it's business as usual, except somewhat better benefits. But for those people who can't afford insurance or just haven't gotten it in the past, this is going to be a step forward.
Let me ask you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot here, but it's a question that I have yet to have answered. Is there a provision in here or an opportunity for people who do have employer-based health insurance? Perhaps their premiums are very high and they can't necessarily afford it. Can they opt out of what their employer offers and look for something better?
Well, it really depends on that individual circumstance. And the situation's a little different for small employers than it is for large employers who have 50 or more employees. But this is where I'd say, for people who have these sorts of questions, they should call the customer service line that is open today, because we have a lot of expertise there that can answer people's questions on a person-by-person basis.
And I've been very impressed with the commission that's putting everything together. Has there been any talk about how to override, perhaps, what if the websites crash on the first, the day or two? Have there been some discussion, some troubleshooting here?
Well, I'm on the MnSure board, and we just took over the day-to-day running responsibility from MMB, and we have contingency plans for a lot of things that could go wrong. But having said that, there are going to be bumps in the road. I think we've all been clear about that. And we already have a plan for over the next 6 months after October 1 to come up with upgrades and patches and to make things better, things we know aren't going to be perfect at first. So we've got improvement plan already on the books even before we start.
Okay, Commissioner, you're obviously excited about this. I want to move on, looking ahead to the 2014 legislative session. We spoke with you recently about the Moose Lake, about the sex offender treatment program, but what are some of the other things that you're going to be pursuing in 2014?
Well, I think bonding has been very important. The governor has supported a new security hospital building, which we think is really important for the treatment of our clients there and the safety of our clients and employees. So that's going to be very important to me going forward. But the governor has said this should be an unsession. And we need to look at ways we can make government work faster and better for people. Well, the Department of Human Services and the way we run human services in our state, there's a lot of opportunity for thinking about how we can streamline things and make them work faster and better for people. So we are really, at the department, taking a hard look at what we can come forward to meet those goals.
Okay, so the unsession doesn't necessarily mean no activity on your part.
No, I think it's a really great opportunity to say, how can we make these processes work better? Okay. How can we do it in a more streamlined way? And as I said, lots of opportunity in human services to do just that.
As always, Commissioner Jesson, we appreciate your time, and thanks for appearing on the program and talking about these issues.